Hey, what's up, guys? It's game time here. I got a little great video for you today. It's on why you should use claw, how to use claw, and the differences between claw and traditional grip. And I'm also, toward the latter part of the video, I'm going to go over why, basically the differences between claw and then what you would get if you bought a Scuf controller, which this is not a Scuf controller. This is just a regular, as you can see, black wireless controller, which is not as good as a wired because of the input kind of lag that you'll get. For instance, input lag is, say if I want to hit A and the time it takes for it to show on the screen, etc., etc. And there might be more lag, I don't know, because I'm recording it live. There's not like a huge delay, don't get me wrong. It's just there's a bit of a difference between wireless and wired. Wired is always better. And anyway, so the traditional way of holding the controller, what you're going to do with your left hand, this is my left hand, you're going to put your left hand like this over the front. It's going to look like that. You're going to have your thumb, my thumb, rest like this. Now this hand, okay, and then the back, your index finger, your left index finger is basically sitting around this area, if you can see that. It's basically touching the left bumper and the left trigger at the same time. So I can do that if I need to, or I can throw that if I need to. So that's really the left hand in a nutshell. And this left hand position, what I got going on, does not change if I use claw or if I use the traditional grip. The only thing that changes from traditional to claw is the right hand. So I'm going to go over the traditional method first. So traditional method, we still have our same left hand here. Traditional method for the right hand is it's basically a copy of the left hand. So you have it set up like this. That's what it looks like from the front. And this is what it looks like from the back. And so you see, look at my hands, they look identical. Their positioning looks identical, right? So I got this thing going on, etc., 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 etc. So basically, that's the traditional grip, and I'm sure that's the one that you're all familiar with. So the claw is going to end up like this. You take the controller, and instead of putting your index finger right here, you put your middle finger right there. So the middle finger goes right here. And your middle finger is going to do the same job as what your index finger did in traditional. And your index finger is going to be over here like so. And so you have to position it like this. If this kind of makes sense, it's a bit of an awkward position, but it's called claw because it kind of looks like a claw, you know, with the way your fingers are set up. And okay, so the benefits. So if this is confusing, I hope it's not confusing, but basically the claw is, you can use all these buttons without moving your right thumb off the stick, which is bad because you don't want to be in a gunfight, for example, and you know, have to like, I gotta, you know, hey, I gotta, you know, reload, or I want to jump, you know. That's you're basically taking you're doing this is when you use traditional, say you want to go and then you want to jump, right? You want to look and then jump. You have to do this, which is bad because it messes up your kind of flow, and it takes time, which in this game every millisecond, nanosecond really counts. So that's why claw is so much better, because using this, I can do, you know, I can do this, I don't have to take my fingers, I don't ever have to move my hand, and less movement is always better. It doesn't matter, like, when you're doing this, when you're playing like guitar or an instrument, you don't want to be moving around a lot because it's just not beneficial. You want to be small, you may want to make small, precise movements that have an impact on what you're doing, and this is basically why that is. So basically, so I play tactical, so I don't play the default, so my crouch is this, so that's, and my knife is the B. So anyway, the biggest thing that you won't get, okay, so the Scuf controller versus just using claw, right? Aside from the fact that you won't have trigger stops and whatever and the other things, this is actually, I think, more beneficial if I were to play like this than over a Scuf, because in the Scuf, they have two paddles on the back, like right here and right here. So you can hit them with your, like, say you're playing traditional, you can just hit them with, which is what most people will play with the Scuf. You can just hit them with your two middle fingers like that. But there are only two buttons. They're usually the A button and the B button. So for most people, it's the jump button and the crouch button. But for reloading and for switching weapons, X and Y, or if you play PS3, square and triangle, you're going to have to still move your thumb off to do that, because the Scuf doesn't have, it only has two buttons in the back, so you're still going to have to do this, which in my opinion is bad, because I really like to be able to just not move my hand at all. That's, you know, this is how I play. Yeah, that's basically how I play. So anyway, also, so that's why you want to play claw. If you buy a Scuf, you can still play claw, because I know Optic Merc plays paw, which he'll do claw, and then he'll also, I guess, use these back bumpers, which is confusing, because to me it's a bit confusing, because claw, basically he has two buttons of these, and I don't know how he does it exactly. I'll have to do my research on that. So yeah, it's like I just reloaded right there, but I just did that, you know, like here, I'll reload again for you. Versus traditional reload. Look at that. It's so much slower, and that's what's going to get you killed in game. So I don't want to make this video too long, but one last thing. So what do you do basically with the claw that you can't do with traditional? Well, one thing is you can't really sprint like this and jump. Like that's I just did a sprint and then a jump. And then I just did a sprint, jump, and then held down my right stick for, you know, going full prone drop shot kind of thing. To do that with traditional, what you'd have to do is you'd have to run. I can't even do it. Okay, you'd have to run, yeah, like that. Like this is what it would look like, and that's super ineffective. Look at this. You can't do the run jump thing very well. Like here, you get kind of more out of it, because you get more out of the jump if you use the claw grip, because I'm not taking my finger off the, or my thumb off the right stick. Whereas with the traditional, you're going to be getting less out of it, because you basically can't. You can't make any look. You can't look anywhere. This is controls where I look. You can't look anywhere while you're doing it, and it's super bad. So, anyway, guys, if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope this review helped you out a lot. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to do a lot more videos like this and trying to help you. I'm going to do some more on jumping and stuff like that and how it helps, but I'm going to save that for another video. Please rate the video, give it a like rating if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys soon.